Brakte Yahweh, Brakte Havashai, Brakte Yahweh, Brakte Havashai, Brakte Yahweh, Ba'ashem Havashai, Ba'ashem Makakudash. I want to say Shalom Mabarakim, Babakarim Yasha Allah, Washin Ikabag Awala Wakab, excuse me, Salaki. Alright, Zakungi Nuwa, Waha Shawayaki Nuwa Yasha Allah Ba'ai. Okay, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Alright, and peace and blessings be upon the elected Israel, and double honor to our elders and apostles of Israel in these times, known as Great Millstone. Okay? Alright, so that's everything that I said in Hebrew. And as you can see from the picture, it says this ain't far-fetched. Alright, and what's not far-fetched is the prophecies. Alright, it's mainly prophecy. The picture that you see is the straight up prophecy. Alright, Deuteronomy 28 and 52. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down. This is a curse that the Lord told Moses to tell the Israelites that, hey, if you don't keep my law, statutes, and commandments, I will do this to you. Alright, so now the Lord's doing this again. Alright, this is a curse that has not been lifted off of the Israelites. Alright, this is Deuteronomy 28:52 again. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. That's going on right now. You see these tanks everywhere in the United States. Alright, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Lord thy power hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straits wherewith thy enemies will distress thee. So Trump signed an executive order where he can control the resources, all right, and part of the resources are the transportation and the electricity. So they say when cannibalism breaks out at about 10 to 14 days when there's no power and no food. When there's power and when there is power but there's no food, cannibalism takes about 20 days. All right, now the United States is going to have to go on a full lockdown. They're going to have to do what China did. They're going to have to do what Italy did. And that is the enemy besieging us in all our gates, because we know good and well that this whole COVID crisis is really just a ploy for the so-called white man in Esau to do what he wants to do. Now, this is going to cause a lot of our people to be forced into some situations where they won't be able to eat for a very long period of time, and then the Lord is going to bring the spirit of this curse back up, where it says, thou shalt eat, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially you women. All right, it says, thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee, in the siege. Siege means you're being taken over. And in the straightness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender and delicate among you, and very delicate, the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, this was said right after it talks about we will get taken in the siege, right? And our people are going to be eating their own flesh. So you men are not exempt too. All right, a lot of you so-called Negroes, Puerto Rican, West Indian, Native American men, Slovakia. So it's hard to hear. Let me try and bring this closer. Lord willing, you can hear that a little bit better. All right. It says, keep going here. So a lot of you men are going to be faced with the choice of having to eat your own child. All right. It might be like this. All right, shalom, shalom. If you can hear me a little bit better, just say Khan or call to Wild Babakusha. All right, I'm not sure what's going on with the audio this time around. So it says, verse 56, 28 and 56. Another thing that's not far-fetched. All right, the water, and the bar. It says, the tender and delicate woman among, and I'll try to speak up, among you. Now, while we're talking about the woman, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground. So at one point in time, our women didn't even put their feet on the ground. So now it's saying, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So why is our women's eyes going to be evil towards her husband? Well, for one, they've been putting them to shame. They've been using them just to have kids and to basically, Salakia, it's still early, basically just to get over on them. And then they're going to be looking at them like, you're supposed to be providing for me. Where's the food? You know, where's the protection? Where are the things that you're supposed to be doing as a man? So their eyes going to be evil. Verse 57, it says, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. So her eyes are going to be evil towards her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for the want, she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness. So don't expect, all right, this prophecy to be on TV. Don't expect to hear this on the radio. A lot of these women, a lot of these people, they're going to fall subject to cannibalism, which is not far-fetched. They're going to be doing it secretly in this age. You people were trying to tell you, you Israelites, so-called Native Americans, so-called Negroes, a lot of you may see this in your pilgrimage in the end of these days, in these end times, man. You're going to literally hear children, grown men, grown women crying because they're getting their flesh torn off. All right, some people are going to be eating people straight up raw because a lot of our people don't know how to make fires too. It's going to be a horrible situation. Now the Lord is doing this to us because we didn't keep all His law, statutes, and commandments. Well, He's doing it to them, I should say, because I pray how about Shema Shai I have to go through that. All right, and it said, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege of straitness, wherewith the enemy shall distress thee in the gates. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So because the Lord hasn't made cannibalism break out, because He hasn't completely cut off the food supply, a lot of our people are still eating shrimps, they're still eating pork chops, crustaceans. Their diets are all messed up, and what the Lord Yahweh and Yahweh Shai gave us as far as dietary principles is based off of sound biological facts, man. All right, a pig eats its own feces. Now you're eating that animal. You're eating something that's not considered food. All right, the so-called white man calls things food that's not food. Now, because the Lord isn't executing judgment upon you speedily, what He likes to do, He likes to let you eat these things over years. Let your blood pressure go up. Let your cholesterol go up. And then you end up in a hospital. Then you got an IV in you. Then you're taking shots all the damn time to keep your blood pressure low and your sugar levels low. Why? Because your dietary laws, you've been evil. All right? Your heart was fully set to do evil. Verse 12, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and a lot of our people are gluttons too. All right, there's a such thing as letting your hunger build, and then after, when you're eating, you eat until you're full. All right, until you're content. You don't eat because there's still stuff on the plate. You know, you eat because you're full. A lot of our people, they out here buying all this types of stuff, and it's only 2 or 3 people in the household. All right, and then you have a lot of people that they don't care about the welfare of Israel. All right, them going back in the ancient times, those spirits are coming back because there was a law in place where you don't pick everything off your land. You leave it to the poor of the nation. A lot of those spirits are back here today doing the same thing, being gluttons. So those are the same ones who are going to fall subject to this cannibalism. Verse 12, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it will be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before Him. Right, I'm not afraid of cannibalism. I'm going to prophesy about it. I'm going to condemn the people that are going to go into it. But I know that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to protect His own. All right, you have a lot of brothers, and you have Akim, Akwathim, Abanim, Menun, and children out there that believe, families that believe. And we're going to be okay through the Spirit because we have faith. But verse 13, it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Heavenly Father. And a lot of people are banking on their food supply. They're not looking for Yahweh Shai to come get them out of this current tribulation that we're in. All right, they're looking for Esau to deliver them, and Esau wants to force you into starvation. All right, he's going to have to lock down these stores for 14 to 21 days. A lot of you people are going to start rioting and looting. A lot of you are going to be too scared to loot and riot, but you're not going to be too scared to cook your son, to cook your daughter, to eat your own flesh, like the curses say. Sirach chapter 39, Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, chapter 39, verse 28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made him." So a lot of the people that are going to be falling subject to this thing that's not far-fetched, the Lord is creating the spirit. All right, they call it, it's a disease called kuru, where it activates some chemical in your brain that makes you think you want to eat human flesh. All right, now that's bad. The Lord created that spirit. All right, verse 29, it says, "Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance." All right, so it says famine was created for vengeance. The Lord is literally the one behind locking down America. And very soon, in mid-April, who knows, they're going to give you a couple days warning and let you know that, look, everything's closed. Walmart's closed. Grocery stores are closed. The exit to get on the highway is closed. All right, your dollar store is closed. All right, your pupusaria, your casita, all right, for the Northern Kingdom, that's closed. You're not going to be able to go to these things. It says, "Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction." And I want to touch on that point a little later too, so I'm going to slide that tab over to right here. 2 Kings, I'm just going through these precepts about cannibalism here. This is 2 Kings 6 and 24. 2 Kings 6 and 24. "And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria." So that's going on right now. The spiritual king of Syria is about to siege Samaria, the land of Israel, you Israelites, again. Verse 25, "And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head, a donkey's head, was sold for 4 pieces of silver." Now, what do you know that you would take, that you would actually sell for actual silver in these times? Silver is worth way more than a piece of paper. All right, it's worth way more than this copper, and the pennies aren't even plated in copper anymore. So they're selling a donkey's head, something unlawful for silver. That's how bad it's going to get in this place. It says, "In the forepart of a calf's dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver," and they were eating bird feces. All right, they were eating bird shit. All right, for 5 pieces of silver. It's going to happen, man. When the earthquake hit Haiti, a lot of them were making mud cakes. All right, this white guy, what's this white guy from CNN, went down there to Haiti to interview what happened after the earthquake. You had Haitians out there on the basketball court because it was hot, and they were mixing sugar with mud and making mud cakes on the basketball court because it was so warm, and they were flipping it, and they were eating it. They were eating their shoelaces because it came from cowhide. They were eating the cow skin. All right, those are the type of things that's going to come to this place. Verse 26, "And as the king of Israel, Yasha'Allah, was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee?" And that's how we're going to be responding to a lot of people that are not of the elect, that are not being protected. They're going to be coming to us, "Please give us some of your virtue. Help us out." And it's like, look, if Yahweh Shema Shah is not sustaining you, there's nothing we can do for you. And that's exactly what it is. All right, a lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you fall subject to this thing that's not far-fetched cannibalism, don't come running to the videos. Don't come running to these streets trying to find us. All right, because if the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? Right, because everything's crushed. Everything's going to be through. Everything would have been collapsed by then. There's no more time for ordering food, for ordering things on Amazon, on the internet, or going actually into physical stores. All right, you're going to get met with an M16. All right, verse 28, "And the king said unto her, What aileth thee?" Meaning, what's wrong? "And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow." So she's talking to the king. Look, let's eat the prince of the country. All right, let's eat the prince, and then we'll eat my son. "So we boiled my son and did eat him." So they ate this lady. There's an account in the scriptures here where a woman ate her own son. All right, "And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him, and she hath hid her son." So she pulled the okey doke. She pulled the okey doke. Now, this is going to happen. A lot of people read this, oh, that's just a story in the scriptures. That'll never happen. you know. Well, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. All right, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. All right, now the great famine of 1315 that lasted from 1315 to 1317. This, I'm going to give you a few examples of the thing that was done, which shall be done again. You Israelites are going to face cannibalism. Don't think that you're going to escape out of America, all right, out of this place with all hell breaking loose, and you're not going to go through this, all right? It says the great famine started with bad weather in spring 1315. Crop failures lasted through 1316 until the summer harvest in 1317, and Europe did not fully recover until 1322. Crop failures, and we were ruling in these times in the 1300s. There was dark-skinned men ruling in Europe. It says crop failures were not the only problem. Cattle murrains caused sheep and cattle numbers to fall as much as 80%. This period was marked by extreme levels of crime, disease that's going on right now. Crime, disease, mass death, and even cannibalism and infanticide. The crisis had consequences for the church, state, European society, and for future calamities to follow in the 14th century. Now that took place in Europe, the Great Famine of 1315. Russia, Russian famine in 1921 to 22. This famine killed an estimated 5 million people, primarily affecting the Volga and Ural River regions, and peasants resorted to cannibalism. The famine resulted from the combined effects of economic disturbance because of the Russian Revolution and Russian Civil War, exacerbated by rail systems that could not distribute food effectively. And that's what's going on. A lot of these people that work for these companies that deliver food to these places are going to be locked down. They're going to fall subject to disease. They're going to be dealing with the turbulence of the end of these times. All right, so there's not going to be a lot of food getting delivered there in the first place. On a lot of these trucks, now they're using these trucks, you can see, to house bodies. All right, as morgues. All right, mobile morgues. Another one. Another 3 is for understanding. This is the Holodomor. All right, to kill by starvation was a man-made famine in the Soviet Ukraine in 1932 and 1933 that killed millions of Ukrainians. All right, the thing that has been, let me read it again. The thing that has been is that which it shall be, and that which is done, that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. The Ukrainian famine. The survival was normal as well as physical struggle. A woman doctor wrote to a friend in June 1933, and this is on Wikipedia. Just type in cannibalism. That she had not become a cannibal, but was not sure that I shall not be one by the time my letter reaches you. The good people died first. Those who refused to steal or to prostitute themselves died. Those who gave food to others died. Those who refused to eat corpses died. Those who refused to kill their fellow man died. Parents who resisted cannibalism died before their children did. All right, it's not far-fetched. This man is going to send out a warning probably a couple days forward. He's going to say, look, everything's locked down. And it's going to be locked down for about 2 to 3 weeks. Now, if this man starts limiting resources like water supplies, gas, and electricity, expect something like this to happen. People to start turning on each other, killing each other, having a freaking barbecue. All right? It's not far-fetched. The next thing I want to talk about that's not far-fetched, all right, was in Ecclesiasticus. Remember, it says, Sirach 30 and 30, it says, teeth of wild beasts, and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So, a lot of our people, you are going to have to worry about running away from mountain lions, panthers. I just found out there's panthers in Florida. All right, there's panthers in the swamps of Florida. I had no idea that there was panthers down there. You got the Appalachian Ridge. A lot of people that live on the East Coast, you know about the Appalachian Mountains. A lot of those animals are going to come down out of those mountains, man. A lot of these animals are going to come out of these zoos. A lot of these animals, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you keep locked up in your cages. Your Yorkies, the things that you breed, your Rottweilers, your German Shepherds. These teats of these wild beasts will turn on you. If you can't feed yourself, how do you expect to feed your pet? You got to think about that. All right, this is a warning to the wicked. All right, and to the elect to wake up. Jeremiah 15:1. Thus saith the Lord unto me, Yahweh Bashmal Shah unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they shall say unto thee, whither shall we go? Then thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord, such as for death to death. Right. It doesn't matter where you go. If you're destined for death, that's what you're going to meet. And such as for the sword, the sword. A lot of people are going to be destroyed. I think the Ra'ash Kassab, the head brother Kassab, had posted that precept in Job. Oh yeah, Jeremiah 19:19. That's a good one. It's 19:9. Salat. Shalom. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. So you have a lot of people, they're gonna have their knapsack, they're gonna have their backpack traveling. You're gonna get caught out there like the book of Eli. When he was walking under that bridge, they tried to catch him so they could eat him. Now not only are people that are gonna be eating the fruit, their sons and their daughters that come out of them, but just like it says, everyone shall eat the flesh of his friend. All right, the flesh of his friend. All right, that's gonna happen. And some of that's gonna happen through these wild beasts. I'm going to keep making my point here. And such as for the famine, to the famine. A lot of people, their lot is literally to starve to death. All right? You can have all these food. I'm talking about people that live in penthouses, celebrities, peasants, the Russian one said, the Russian cannibalism one said that peasants were resorting to cannibalism. So the things are coming, man. It's not far-fetched. The Lord's going to bring it back. And such as for captivity, and I will point over them for Jeremiah 15:3, and I will point over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and dogs to tear, and fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And expect some animals that you've never seen before start creeping out of their caves, man, walking on 2 feet, coming for you. All right, because there's a lot of undocumented mammals that Yahweh Bashmal Shah has created specifically to appease him and to send amendments to appease his spirit and amendments to the wickedness that's on earth. And how is the amendments gonna come? By tearing you people up, man. Daniel 12:1. In that time shall Michael stand up. So now I want to get in the spirit of the balance of us being protected. The things that aren't far-fetched as far as for us. All right, Aparat Tazawi of the elect. The things that aren't far-fetched for us. Because we're going to see these cannibalism. We may witness it. Some of us may see it. We're going to witness family. We're going to go through these things. If you're in America, best believe you are going to feel the wrath of Esau come down upon you. All right? But it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. The great prince was standing for the children of the people, Yasha Allah, the elect specifically. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. All right, so we're not going to have to worry about these far-fetched things, all right, because they are going to happen, because we don't believe they're far-fetched. That's one reason why we're going to be protected. How about Shema Shah is going to look out for it? Job 5:19, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. You got to believe that. In war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. But a lot of these other people that don't think these things are far-fetched, when they see it happen, they're not going to realize that that's the Lord doing it. They're not going to see it. Last scripture. Psalms 57:1 is my favorite. And I did a prayer on this too. The Volume 57:1, Psalms 57:1. It says, be merciful unto me, O power. Be merciful unto me. For my soul trusteth in you. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. And the majority of our people, they're in the shadow of Egypt's wings. All right, they're in the shadow of Esau's wings. They're in the shadow of the mainstream news media's wings. They're not relying on the warnings from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to trust and faith in Him. So therefore, they're going to fall subject to things like cannibalism. All right, to these wild animals attacking them, a stray. Imagine getting attacked by a pack of stray cats, man. And another thing I was reading is because these restaurants and these mainstream food stores and markets are shut down, these rodents and rats that usually go in those dumpsters to get the food, because there's nothing getting dumped in there, expect these rodents and rats to start coming into your neighborhoods. Start expecting them to see them in streets where you've never seen them before, you know? Now, Psalms 57 and 1 in the Hebrew, real quick, is Chananya Alahayim Chananya, Kayabaka Chasaya Napasha, Wabatazal Kanapyaka, Achasa Ad Yaibar Hahawat. All right, which means, again, be merciful unto me, O power, be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities overpass. Again, Chananya Alahayim Chananya. Kayabaka Chasaya Napasha Wabatazal Kanapyaka Achasa Id Yaibar Hahawa. Alright, so Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, for allowing me to understand these scriptures. I pray and I know this is edifying to the elect that you've been warned. You know, don't be relying on your food supply. Rely on your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. For all you other Israelites, you will fall subject to the curses. Alright, and let me just, I see some precepts getting dropped. I can grab a couple. This is sheep of Yahweh Shai. Yeah, I read that. Yep, Job 5 and 20. Let's run that track again. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in the war from the power of the sword. That's right. 1 Corinthians 13 and 7. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hope all things, endureth all things. Ooh, that's heavy. That might have to be a quick prayer. 1 Corinthians 13 and 7. Let me just put that in a notepad before I forget. Alright. But yeah, to the elect, I say shalom. You know, I hope you've been warned and you're edified. And to everybody else, a straight condemnation to you from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And double honors to our elders and apostles in these times known as Great Millstone, the water, for teaching us the truth and pushing out the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai at such a high frequency, leading a great example. All right, Sheni Kabad, Lakum, Shalom.